After coming off the high of finishing a grueling hardcore Nuzlocke in Pokemon Emerald, I decided that I should continue my journey to being a good Nuzlocker. Up next on that list is perhaps many people's favorite game to play, Pokemon Soul Silver. Soul Silver is always a great game to come back to, mostly because the world feels alive and you have your Pokemon following you around. Now let's see if this game feels as fun as I remember it when I attempt to hardcore Nuzlocke it. Before we start, here are the rules for those who need a refresher or this is somehow the first video you've seen of a hardcore Nuzlocke. If it is, thanks for clicking on this video and hope you enjoy the shenanigans that will occur. Ah, the Johto region. A breath of fresh air. It always feels nice coming back to play a Gen 4 game, since the upgrade from Gen 3 to 4 seemed revolutionary for me as a kid. Our journey begins with every 10-year-old's biggest decision, the choice of starter. For Johto, there's two good choices, Cyndaquil and Totodile. I'm sorry to say, Chikorita enjoyers, if you exist, you got the short end of the stick of this one. But I chose my favorite Gen 2 starter, Cyndaquil, and conveniently is one of 6 fire types that you can attain in the game through normal gameplay. Like, what kind of game design is that? Continuing on, we talk to Professor Oak and get a mysterious egg which we are never gonna hatch, and we meet up with a suspicious edgelord who has a Totodile. After beating him and looking at his social security card, we see that his name is Capitalism. We then find out that he robbed Professor Elm, and let's be real, Professor Elm looks very robbable, so I don't blame him. We capture a few Pokemon on the way, and we make it to Violet City, where we run into an interesting NPC named Primo. Primo is interesting, since he can offer both Pokemon and wallpapers. Since I'm interested in the Pokemon, he offers Mareep, Wooper, and Slugma. If you say the right face corresponding with your secret ID, which is an easy resource to find once you use the internet, I found my ID and I received the Mareep. Since we were dealing with a flying gym, I just wanted to have a backup one just in case. While I was making my way up the route, I realized I had a major problem. You see, in the words of the internet funny man Alfred, cheating is base. I found 999 rare candies and picked them up. Lucky me. However, this caused a black hole in my bag, and now I can't use any medicine that I pick up throughout my journey outside of battle. It shows up when I'm in battle, but since I can't use items in battle, it's still unusable. Until I can find a fix for my bag, it's basically an empty void. Anywho, we find Faulkner, throw 3 rocks at him, and he gives us our first badge. We traverse south to make it to Slowpoke Well, where we find, well, a Slowpoke. Who could have guessed in a place called Slowpoke Well, am I right? We then take care of Team Rocket, who are up to no good, take care of their schemes easily. We get the team ready to take care of the second gym leader, Bugsy. Bugsy was super annoying since he kept U-turning his Scyther and just whittled down my Geodude to knock him out. But luckily Geodude took down his Kakuna and Metapod. Quilava comes in, deals some damage before we send in Zubat, who lives on 1 HP and KOs Scyther for our second badge. Slightly annoying battle, but we made it work. We heal up and we're immediately attacked by Capitalism. Luckily we had a good selection of mods to help maneuver around his, and we're able to take down Capitalism easily for the meantime. As we make it through the forest, we see a man bashing his head into a tree and giving himself a concussion. And I thought to myself, I want to do that. So I bashed my head on a tree and found an Napalm in Azalea Town, hoping to get a Heracross before the next gym. We make it past the forest and we make it to Goldenrod, the city that gives many people nightmares. And the sole culprit for these nightmares is flipping a Voltorb when it should have been a 2! I played for a while until I grind up enough points to grab a Dratini for my encounter in the city. Even after grinding for Dratini, actually, let me rephrase that. After obtaining Dratini, I played Voltorb Flip for another 20 minutes. Seriously guys, I have a problem with Voltorb Flip, please help me. I then grabbed Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Swords Dance. After fueling my addiction like a Fallout player using chems, I decided to fight Whitney. First came out Clefairy. Clefairy was easy, then came out Miltank. See, the plan for Miltank was to intimidate it with Ekans and use Drowsy to put it to sleep, then rinse and repeat to essentially neuter the damage. But Drowsy got crit, flinched, then died. So I paralyzed it and intimidated it more, but this cow kept critting everything and just killing everything. After a few intimidates, we switched to Dratini and spammed Dragon Rage to KO it. Badge 3 is ours, and I breathe a sigh of relief. They are not joking about Whitney's Miltank. After taking on some trainers on the way to Ecruteak, we entered the Burn Tower, where we see Capitalism once again, but falls just as easily as the last fight. Seems as if Capitalism will be decaying over time, but we'll see as the run continues. I make my way to the right of Ecruteak, where I proceeded to get 25 concussions trying to find and encounter one of these trees. Which, fun fact, trees actually have their own encounter table. Basically, dumbed down means that some trees have encounters and some don't, but you don't know which ones until you bash your head till you start tasting colors. If you find an Napalm, catch it, because I didn't grab the last one. We head into the gym and fight against 40. Golbat takes down Haunter and Ghastly, no problem. Then comes in Gengar, which we saw with Pidgeotto, then have Gyarados clean up the last one, and we acquire our 4th badge. We already have 4 badges, and I'm feeling confident in the run. Things are falling into place. Hopefully we can go far in this one. As we make it to Olivine, we scale the lighthouse and see that we need to head to Cyanwood to get the medicine for the Ampharos. We swim through and we enter Chuck's gym, where I lose my Gyarados to a Thunder Punch Hitmonchan, which I had planned on using this Gyarados for Chuck. Oh well, luckily our Golbat loved us enough to evolve into Crobat, so I'm feeling a bit more confident now facing Chuck. We lead off with Slowpoke, which tries to kill with Confusion, but probably set up too many double teams, so Slowpoke eventually falls. Luckily our new Crobat comes in and takes care of business. Poliwrath comes out and Crobat is immediately put to sleep. We're in a weird position now. Since Dragonair is now in low health, I switch out to Pidgeotto hoping for paralysis, but I get absolutely red and he immediately clicks in Focus Punch and just destroys Pidgeotto. With the clean switch in now for Ampharos, we take it out and the 5th badge is ours. A little rough, but we somehow made it through. Speaking of rough though, we take on Jasmine since G's gyms are basically back to back. So we lead with Palava, which my plan was to flamethrower everything, but I decided to pivot to Machoke for some reason. Then I switched up to Shuckle, who got one-shot by an Iron Tail. Then I sent in Nidoqueen, who tickled it with double kicks and then died. I sent in Lantern to kill Steelix and Magnemite, and the 6th badge was ours. I think I spoke too soon when I said this was looking like a good run. It's already starting to look pretty bad losing a few mons in this one. Okay, let's pull the curtain back just a little bit. See, game design is important, obviously, because games need a direction and need to know what to build around. However, there are some parts in some games that kind of question what the developers were thinking, like playing as MJ in Spider-Man. Like, these missions are boring, I came to play as Spider-Man. Fighting Matador in SMT3 who just uses Red Capo and just insta-kills you. Thinking about playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Now, applying it to this game, the more badges you get, the battles get harder, obviously. Or at least they're supposed to. However, for some reason, after you beat Jasmine, Price forgot what gym number he is and decided that his team should be lower than the previous leader. Now, applying that to the hardcore rules where my team must be under the level cap of the gym leader's Pokemon, my team is now illegal. I didn't realize this until I went to the secret rocket base, which was before I caught the red Gyarados, fought a run trainer, and 2 rocket runs. I didn't make that much progression, however, I did want to point it out. So, we rebuild the team, which is just a mishmash of mons I put together to align with the rules, and we head back to the base. Everything was going fine until I hit these electrodes. My current team is not well equipped to deal with electric types. My best mons are Crobat and Gyarados, who get decimated by them. Have a Coffee and an Napalm who do virtually nothing. My Ampharos died to the first electrode, and that leaves Magneton. This is doable, right? Well, remember when I said my bag is glitched? Yeah, I can't even heal after these battles. So we catch the first one, barely beat the second one, and got lucky with the rollout miss from the last one to secure a win. This should not be as scary as it was, but this whole dilemma was due to the fact of me not having medicine. After that whole dilemma, we start team building for Price, and I get more encounters as I make my way through the Safari Zone area. Since I need better moves for Magneton and Electrode, I make my way back to everyone's favorite game. After playing, it's time to face Price. Seal comes in and dies to a Thunderbolt. Piloswine goes down to a crit surf from Gyarados. Dugong tries to stall us, but I spam Dragon Rage and end it with a bite. An easy gym to say the least, but at least now I can use my regular team. After beating an old man into submission, we traverse through the routes to make it to Blackthorn. However, a new problem arrives. I do not have any good answer to Claire's Dragon types. My box is looking pretty rough since a lot of them are pretty underpowered, and my good mons don't do anything in return. After some deliberation, I build a team, however, I'm not 100% confident in it. My best mons are Lantern, Magneton, and a Piloswine, who I'm going to rely on a lot on his battle because of his super effective stab. Okay, so that one is 100% my fault. I'm essentially throwing for content at this point. Luckily, I still have my Lantern and my Magnet. Okay, I guess I should stop throwing at this point if I actually want to win this. I switched out Piloswine and Magneton for Heracross and Kingler. Heracross is just here for fun. He is my emotional support bug. We make it to Claire and we take her Gyarados easily with a Thunderbolt. Dragonair number 1 comes in and it dies to a Never Melt Ice boosted Ice Beam from Lantern. Kingdra gets a nuke dropped on it, and Dragonair number 2 dies to a Guillotine from the Mad Crab Kingler. Badge 8 is ours, and we're now able to face the Elite Four. We're technically halfway done with this game, and I'm excited to see how much farther I can go. After getting the badge, we head down to the dance hall where we have to fight the kimono girls who have all the evolutions. However, I forgot that this was a gauntlet match, so I can't heal and I have to grind it out. The Umbreon was easy for Heracross, Espeon goes down to Gyarados and Lantern, but not before dealing some serious damage. Next was Flareon, who Dragonair should have taken care of, but this stupid blue Poonoodle could not hit a Dragon Rush to save its life. So I switch in Typhlosion, who takes a last resort, switch into Gyarados, who dies, send in Lantern, gets quick attack to death, knocked out Dice to another last resort, and Heracross eventually beats it with a Brick Break. I lost half my team, and I still have 2 more Kimono Girls to go. This is not looking good, to say the very least. Jolteon is up next, and it dies to a close combat. Vaporeon is last in, and it dies to a Shadow Claw and close combat. I was lucky this time, if you consider losing half your team lucky. We can now get a reward of Lugia. We catch Lugia, and we make our way through Victory Road, where we catch a Rhyhorn and get ready to face capitalism. But before that, I have to get some more TMs, and the best way to do that... Anyways, after gambling some more, I get the moves I need and get my team ready to face capitalism. He was a pushover as I made my predictions and pivoted effectively. I just basically spammed Flamethrower and used Lantern to take care of Feraligatr. This is truly the fall of capitalism since we don't fight him again after this, but for now, we have to get ready to face the toughest trainers in the region. There are some preparations that went into all of this, so I'll just explain briefly what I did. I gave myself all the healing items, but discarded everything besides what I picked up and what I was going to buy from the store because I don't think it's possible or fair to beat the Elite Four without healing in between these fights. I fished up the shelter in a route and evolved it with a Water Stone that was a random gift from a fisherman on Route 42. Finally, the team I went in with. This perhaps took the longest since I wanted everyone to do something and have some good matchups for everyone. The final team was Gyarados, Lugia, Typhlosion, Rhydon, Cloyster, and Lantern. For those keeping track, this is Gyarados number 3 and Lantern number 2. I mean seriously, these mons are too good not to have. But now is the time we face off against the first member, Will. Xatu comes in and it dies immediately to a crit Thunderbolt. Jin comes in after, and after doing some serious damage, I send in Typhlosion, who takes a crit Psychic, but it falls to a Flamethrower. Slowbro comes in and I switch him to Gyarados, who spams Bite for the KO. Executive comes in, but after spamming some Ice Fangs, I take care of it easily. The last Xatu comes in, and I send in Lugia to get the first win. 1 member down, 3 to go. Koga's up next and leads with an Aridos who gets torched by a Flamethrower alongside Fortress. Mux is then sent out, I switch to Rhydon predicting a Gunk Shot, and I use EQ for the KO. Venomoth comes in and it gets rocked by a Stone Edge. Lastly, Crobat gets bodied by a Stone Edge as well. 2 members down and 2 more to go. Bruno is up next, but honestly, he just got soloed by Lugia's Extra Sensory and Aeroblast. A complete wash of a fight, nothing too notable happened. The final E4 member, Karen, was next, and perhaps the one member I had difficulty building for. The battle starts and I leave with Rhydon to spam EQ, but Gengar comes in earlier. Predicting a Focus Blast, I send in Lugia to kill with Extra Sensory. Umbreon is back, but I spam Aeroblast to eventually bring it down. Murkrow comes in, so I send in Lantern, who gets Whirlwinded into Cloyster, who picks up the KO. Vileplume is next. Predicting a Petal Dance, I send in Typhlosion to beat it with the Flamethrower. Finally, Houndoom, who's next and is one-shot by a Waterfall from Gyarados. With all the members beat, we can now face the champion, the Dragon Master, Lance. Before each battle, I made sure to give my mons the correct items. Specifically, however, I'm referring to Rhydon in this situation. For you see, Rhydon has both rock and ground moves, so I switch between the Hard Stone and the Soft Sand to give you more damage output. Since most of Lance's mons are flying types, the best item to give him would be a Hard Stone, which is what I should have done, but never got to switch it out. For sure I won't miss any ranges because of this. The battle begins and the Dragon Master sends out a non-Dragon Mon, Gyarados, so I send in Lantern and it immediately dies to a Thunderbolt. Dragonite number 1 comes in, which is actually his 8th Mon. Predicting Outrage, I send in Cloyster with Shell Armor to be safe from crits. I take one and get dealt a good chunk of health. I protect hoping for a 2-turn Outrage, unfortunately it isn't to be a 3-turn one. At this point I have to hope it was a high roll Outrage and that Cloyster could live another one, then retaliate with Ice Beam. And we barely live and the Ice Beam takes it out. Next was Aerodactyl. I was predicting Thunderfang, so I sent in Lantern, but it wasn't, and I took a crunch to the face. I want to clean switch to Gyarados, so I risk losing Lantern by staying in and using Surf. Luckily for me, Aerodactyl missed Rock Slide, but I didn't KO it, and Aerodactyl takes out Lantern. Gyarados is sent in, and Aerodactyl dies to a Waterfall, but not before I hit the Thunderfang. Dragonite number 2 is sent in, predicting Thunder, I switch to Rhydon. And this happened. Miss Dragon Rush. Don't miss Stone Edge. Okay. Don't miss Stone Edge! Thank you. Hardstone mattered. Hardstone mattered. Oh my god, Hardstone mattered right there. He heals for sure. I missed out on a KO because of Hardstone. Who could have seen that coming? Anyways, Lugia comes in and beats it. Dragon number 3 is out, but 2 Ice Beams take it down. At last, the Dragon Master sends out his last non-Dragonmon, Charizard, which falls to 2 Surfs. With that, we have now beaten the Johto part of the story. The prediction and pivots were the key to victory. Although I made some bad calls, it still worked out for me. Now comes the weird side story of Kanto. Kanto feels like a choose-your-own-adventure, since there's no real order in which to fight the gym leaders. You just kinda get thrown into the world and off you go. Because of this, the gym leaders' levels are all messed up if you challenge them in the way the game presents them. That order being Surge, Sabrina, Erica, Misty, Janine, Brock, Blaine, and Blue. However, since I have strict level caps, I have to find the order myself. So now the actual order is Janine, Surge, Misty or Brock, Sabrina, Erica, Blaine, and Blue. With the order our way, let's make our way to Janine. Or at least a trainer in Janine's gym, because I forgot where she was. But dear viewer, this was part of the plan, you see, for now I have poison on my Guts Ursaring. Clearly I strategized this and didn't get lucky at all. Now for the real battle. Crobat leads off and a couple of slashes take it down. Weezing comes in and Ursaring dies from a confusion hit, Sludge Bomb, and a poison proc. Azumarill comes in and kills it with 2 waterfalls. Venomoth does some significant damage to Dragonair, so I switch it out to Azumarill to get a clean switch to Kingler. Kingler hits 2 strengths to KO but is left at low HP. Ariados is next and I want to switch out safely, so I risk it all on a Guillotine. And he hits the Guillotine! The Mad Crab is now 2 for 2 on Guillotines. Ariados number 2 is sent out, and I'm literally in the same situation. So the Mad freaking Crab hits 2 in a row. He is now 3 for 3 on Guillotine hits. This crab puts the king in Kingler. With 2 deaths, we finished the first Kanto gym, and next on the list is Surge. On my way to Vermilion, I catch Shinchou number 3 in Vermilion, a Nidorino to the route east of Fuchsia, Snorlax before Diglett's cave, and a Diglett inside of some cave. Since Surge decided to set up a gym next to the Mon that literally counters his team, this is basically how the fight went. With the second Kanto badge in hand, we head to Brock, where our Heracross had his time to shine. And much like Surge's gym, here's how it went. After getting our 3rd badge, I walk around Kanto to get fly points to make traveling back easier. I was able to pick up a Pikachu with the light ball, which was pretty cool, and I decided to bring Pikachu to the next gym against Misty. The battle was easy, I just had to make some pivots. It wasn't a 1-move KO battle, but nothing interesting happened. Badge 4 was ours, and I got more encounters consisting of Quagsire, Grimer, and Murkrow. I'm not going to use Grimer, but I use it as a way to get dupes on a route and guarantee myself the Murkrow encounter, which was necessary for the next gym, Sabrina and her Psychic types. I grab the Dust Stone from the Pokeathlon Mart and get Honchkrow, and we head to the gym, which at this point... Badge number 5 in hand, and these leaders are total pushovers. Let's see if Erica poses any threat. Badge 6 is ours, and Blaine is up next. There's literally no story in the Kanto region, so these gyms are like the only thing I could talking about. Anyways, here's Blaine's gym. Badge 7 is ours, and we can finally take on the last leader of Blue. Blue at least has an interesting team, being very diverse, so some planning was made. At this moment, I started to see the benefits of taking the time to predict enemy moves and pivoting effectively. I made one wrong call in the battle, and it was still in my favor, and I was able to securely pick up the final badge of the Kanto region, which only means one more battle remains. The final battle was slowly approaching, and I had to make sure I had the necessary preparations. First was the team. I had to make sure I had pivots for everything so I can manipulate the next move and switch it freely. The team was Quagsire for Pikachu, Lugia for Venusaur, Lantern for Lapras, Heracross for Snorlax, Magcargo for Charizard, and finally Pikachu for Blastoise. This is some kind of poetic justice using a Pikachu in the final battle, which I find very perfect. This was a team that I thought would be effective for a battle, and then came in preparations in terms of movesets, which, for the final time, you guessed it. With the movesets complete, we go to held items. There's only one of interest, and that is the Life Orb. This is obtainable if you have Ho-Oh at the Ruins of Alph. So I got the Rainbow Wing and Pewter, headed to the Bell Tower to catch Ho-Oh, then go back to the ruins to obtain my life orb. With the team ready, we were ready to scale Mount Silver and fight Red. Is what I would like to say. You see, there is one little problem with this team. Can you see it? No one can learn Rock Climb. So I had to find a mod that can learn Rock Climb and still fit into my pivot strategy. Luckily, by switching out Heracross for Nidoking, I was able to fit the slot with some minor tweaks to the pivots. But now, for real, we make it to the peak of Mount Silver. This is it. The hopefully final battle, and I could possibly win this run on the first try. For this battle, I'm gonna let the raw footage play out so you can see my thinking. Cue the music. It's about to go down. Iconic words. Iconic words. Iconic. Here we go. I'm gonna try not to speed up for this. I need all the amount of time to think. Okay. We got hail. That's fine. I just thought of it. What if I just... I'll turn on battle scenes. That's fine. So, I mean, he's just here. Earthquake. He missed. Alright, this feature's immediately throwing. His Earthquake just kills. I mean, soft sand, stab, Earthquake. Gets a Pikachu. Not living. Alright, incoming Venusaur. There it is. But now it's either going to Giga Drain or it's going to Frenzy Plant. Quad effective. Send in Lugia. Giga Drain? Expected. Does nothing. I got the leftovers just in case. Psychic. This thing's probably dead. The hail might have helped, but I'm pretty sure this just dies. It doesn't? Okay, well, I mean, sure it doesn't, but I'm still Lugia. You're not living another one. And I got leftovers. Damn. Alright, it dies now. Alright, incoming Lapras. Lapras is most likely gonna Blizzard. Blizzard doesn't miss. Incoming Lantern. Lantern can spam Thunderbolt, Magnet Boosted, Stab, Thunderbolt. Probably a 2-hit KO. Enter takes it like a champ. Let's see, it's probably a 2-hit. Yeah, that's what I thought. These are going to be trading blows, so... And this thing can't be crit either. There we go. Alright, pretty sure Snorlax is next in the rotation. Snorlax. This is a random move. Most likely Giga Impact. In that case, I'm just gonna Thunderbolt. Crunch, okay. It's random move, so... I'm letting Lantern die here. It's fine. I need a clean switch in. Giga Impact right now would be perfect. Shadow Ball, okay. That's fine. Thank you, Lantern number 4. I believe that's Lantern number 4. Here comes Nidoking. Nidoking Poison Jab. It kills. I mean, we already calced it. Incoming Blastoise now as the Hydro Cannon. Nidoking already done its job too. I could just Poison Jab, right? It's in a Hydro Cannon, I Poison Jab, in comes in Pikachu, Pikachu just take care of this. Oh, I just Blizzard, okay. Blizzard, Hydro Cannon. I think Hydro Cannon would have been better for him, I should say. Because I'm pretty sure that would have just killed. Life Orb. Tail. I think I still live. Okay. That's fine. Now Pikachu comes in. Could Pikachu just take care of Blastoise and Swampert? Swampert, by the way, not freaking Charizard. It looks like I'm not even gonna need Macargo. A good backup nonetheless, though. Thunderbolt. It's crit. Crit mattered. Showing my own level 88 Pikachu. You don't even know. You got speed? You do. This thing's probably dead. Light ball boosted. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all we needed. This random rare encounter Pikachu in Viridian Forest. I thought nothing of it. And it brought us to victory. Insane. Insane. This is my second hardcore Nuzlocke that I finished. I'm actually just happy that everything came together perfectly like I thought it would. It is complete! I have officially beaten my second hardcore Nuzlocke on the first try, which is such a euphoric feeling. I see that I've gotten better at pivots and getting better at predicting moves. However, I feel these vanilla games are a little too easy to predict. What if I tried my hand to something more difficult? But that will be a little bit later down the line. Thanks for watching, I'll see you around.